What's up, guys? This is Tom here, and this is the General Shizzel Podcast, Episode 3. What's up, guys? You're listening to the General Shizzel Podcast here with more cheap labour than a Chinese factory.
We're not even getting paid.
Our random fact for the week, which is another little new bit. The most expensive cow to be done on sell on auction, that's the right one, was actually $1.3 million. Well,
What was... Sorry, you continue.
well, if that's what you call my wife.
Married.
For our guests today, we have a new member of the guest group.
New.
A new group, and it's Luke. So say hi, Luke, to the many people who are listening in.
Hi to the many people that are listening in.
And we also have retained two of our oldest guests, of Joe.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back.
And Ross.
What's up, brats?
Anyone hear about that old lady? Refused to buy alcohol because she didn't have any ID. How old was she? 92.
Oh. Yes, I heard that. I did hear that on the radio. I've got to admit.
She showed him her bus pass.
She showed him the bus pass, but the person said that it's not viable ID.
Yeah.
So that we could, in fact, make a little thing of that. Bonkers Britain. We could make it. So Bonkers Britain. So
Whereabouts in England was that? Do you guys know?
it was just in I don't know. It didn't really say. It was just in a Tesco's, wasn't it? And she bought like a bottle of wine or something with a Zimmer frame. So what our topic will be today will be Halloween, because it was Halloween a week ago, and we all went out, didn't we? Trick-or-treating?
No.
We didn't, no.
I did. Fuck all, I'm afraid.
Kids wouldn't leave me alone. I'm just in my room trying to play Xbox.
We're just
Every 2 seconds the doorbell's going because Mum's busy.
We're just going to share our little experiences here. So we will start with Joe, as he is very keen to get something off his chest. So Joe, tell us about your Halloween experience.
Oh, my Halloween. Here I am, just Xboxing it up. I've had a rough week. Really rough week. And they just don't leave.
Watching EastEnders every day that's a rough week.
But right, I'm just here I am, just trying to play Xbox, and then the doorbell's going, Mum's busy. So I'm that guy who's got to go run down the stairs, freaking give them every 2 seconds. And I mean, I don't mind them with the little kids, that's fine.
When the chaps come around.
Yeah, when you get the older kids, it's like, really?
Yeah,
really?
I must admit. I'll share a story. There was a woman on the radio who rang up, and she said she was really horrible to her 8-year-old, because he's wanted to go out and do some trick or treating, because everyone was, and the mum said no, it's you're getting too old for that, so we'll try and get you off this trick or treating habit. And then she And then, an hour later, she opened the door to a 17-year-old of the same school asking for some sweets. So, that's a very harsh mum.
I don't think I ever did any trick-or-treating.
I never trick-or-treated.
I've never.
Oh, I have. I mean, I'm finally the outside guy. I mean, it was fun. I did it 2 years in a row, I think. It might have been 2 or 1, I can't remember. But, I mean, for what it is, it's good. But, it's just when older kids...
When it gets a bit excessive, and then when people have an excuse to egg your house, that's always a bit of a bad luck, isn't it? Yeah.
There's some guy down my mate's road that apparently he used to fire paintballs at people that trick-or-treat. You'd hear in the distance, just hear just hear these little shots in the distance.
It's like you're watching all the old war films and you just hear the artillery in the background. But no, it's actually someone just throwing an egg at them.
No, paintball gun.
Paintball gun. Sorry,
firing paintball.
No, that would be a good idea. If you've ever been paintball, they've got the paint grenades and the smoke grenades sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just get a load of them up, keep them in
and
the
throw
front
it
window.
through the window. Yeah.
Wing 'em.
Throw it out the window.
Wing 'em,
You know,
idiots.
greatest thing ever.
You could actually make a business of just getting loads of paintball grenades and just saying like, and just making your name as a painter just there, just going like, yeah, could I change it to blue? All right, just everyone get out.
Or you could say
It might recolour the carpet and the walls and the roof and the furniture, but I know.
What you could do though, when they periodically do and say trick or treat, you can say, "Oh, I'll give you a trick," and you like throw like a water balloon at them and stuff. Just tell them to piss off. Yeah.
Let's move away from the bitching and the trick or treaters.
Children trying to have fun. Fuck those kids.
Yeah.
Well. Before you take things literally, don't add. It's illegal to do that. Just like
yeah, we do not condone anything that Joe's just said. So,
you know what I meant.
Yeah. Right. So, to move along, we will move on now to our film review. So we'll just have to. So we'll go over to Joe here, who is prepared a little. He's gone to see a horror film this time.
Indeed.
Yeah. So Joe, please tell us what.
Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah, in the spirit of Halloween.
Went to see Paranormal Activity 3. I don't know if anyone here else has seen it.
No.
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
Okay.
Ross has seen it, so he can relate you
Yeah.
Very
to
good.
it.
Well, I haven't seen the first one, to be fair. I saw the second one. I thought it was part of shit.
It was just funny to debate the rapiness of the
Yeah,
baby.
I don't know whether you've seen, any of your listeners have seen the second one, but there's an epic scene with a baby crawling up like the crib, and that's one of the funniest things I've ever
Well,
seen.
it's like being moved with the force, basically. It just looks so rapey because the baby's sort of crying and it's being pulled along.
It's just like making.
No, I'll carry on.
It just like makes a right angle with the crib in the second one. It's fucking hilarious. You can try and imagine it. But anyway, third one. So I didn't have great expectations.
Let me just get this right. Just before you go on, it was a prequel, wasn't it? This
Yes,
third one.
that's
I hear.
They're all prequels of the original. Or the second one sort of happens at the same time, chronologically, as the first one.
Is it? I'm not sure.
Because
The
both
timeline
sisters-
is absolutely fucked up.
Well,
It's like-
no,
you could say that
it's
about
like-
Star Wars, though.
No, because it's in sort of, it goes 4, 5, 6, and then he realised, oh, I've left out 1, 2,
But in
3,
real
so
time,
I'll just go
or
like
wanting
that.
more
Real
money.
time.
Yeah, or he wants more money. Yeah.
But anyway,
Mind you can't leave a series on 4, 5, and 6.
we made
Well,
it.
surely
Well,
you'd start a
originally it
series
was
on
one,
1, 2, 3.
Originally, they were the original. So originally, they were 1, 2, 3. But he
And
decided
now
to.
it's classified as 4, 5, and 6 because of
Yeah.
the introduction to the first 3.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway,
Moving on
moving
from
back to this book. Yeah.
Star Wars nerdism there.
So I didn't have great
I'm
expectations
sorry,
for this film, but you know, I wanted to go to the cinema. I wanted to do something in the evening, so I went along with my friend, and well, it starts off a bit slow. There's a few jumps, whatever. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil all the stuff. There's a lot of jumps. There's a lot of, and then later on, it gets scarier and scarier, and there's a lot of scenes where, like the previous one, like the second one, it does have a few jumps, but overall, it's not a good film in my opinion. But it has a lot more jumps than the second one. It will make you like.
Will scare the shit
It
out
will
of
scare you a lot, and there's especially in the final scene. Like I said, no spoilers. There's a lot of creepy shit in the final scene. There is a lot of stuff, but there is one really fucking annoying thing about this movie that really pissed me off. There's like the guy is filming the ghosts in his house, and
As you do.
yeah, and I
As
don't
you
care
do.
because this isn't a spoiler of the plot or anything. This is just something happens. There's a woman sitting down, and this bedsheet, I kid you not, is stalking her, like hovering behind her. Just a bedsheet, like a fake ghost, like in a comedy show, essentially. It's just following her, and the guy is watching this on CCTV, like the day after, and then it just drops, just like after hovering drops. And yet, the thing that pisses me off about that is, why do they continue to live in this house?
Because
The
they're
night after.
pretty stupid, aren't they? They are Americans, I'm afraid. I think that's generally.
I mean, stuff.
No
that-
offence to American people
Yeah.
out there, of course.
But I think they generally like to try and find stuff out, in fairness to them. And I think that was this guy's only a little.
a bit shit.
Initiative
It was
trying to work
the
out.
idiot moment of the film.
I mean,
Yeah.
stuff does change, so that does justify that in a way.
You
But the
got
night
to
after
you got to
is-
admit though, that even like if they just suddenly said, "Oh, we'll just leave," and then you just saw him like packed up and just drove away, and it just said the end. You wouldn't be.
No,
It wouldn't be
I
an impressive
understand
end.
that, but I just because the ending does. It's hard to explain that spoilers, but I mean, essentially they do realise about it all, But it's just, I think the day after that happening to you, you would do something about it. Apart from, but whatever. Anyway, but I don't think the film's meant for that. I think the film's meant in a way just to go along with a friend or something and just have a good time and get scared. And it does that very well. And like I said, the last scene is very scary, and I was very, very creeped out in the last film.
I've got to go back to the bit where, obviously you want them to get out of the house. You think, oh, why have they moved? I found myself at the end scene going, get out of there, run!
And the funny thing was, I've heard a little report from my friend who went to see the film with Ross, and apparently he was one of the only people in the cinema just going, run, run! Actually speaking to the film.
Yeah, I was going, get out of there!
Now that's a sign. It's just a sign. As a sign, that's quite a good sign of a film. Or Ross is just takes things really personally.
Ross is a special kind of guy.
Oh.
That's very nice, Luke.
I went in the cinema. It wasn't packed, but there was a big atmosphere for lots of jumps, lots of screaming in it, and that just totally makes the film. And it's very similar to Insidious, and some of that in the way that's done. A lot of jumps, a lot of creepy stuff just appears, whatever, or disappears in one case. But it's very, like I said, if you want to go see a scary film, go see this. It's really worth seeing. It's definitely worth the price, and you have a good time. And also, there's a trailer for another scary film. I can't remember what it's called. Something Devil something. Can you remember what it's called, Ross?
The one we've already seen, the one in the elevator.
No, not that. There was a trailer for a new film coming out with an exorcism thing.
Oh, that looked really scary.
Oh, that scared the crap out of me.
Even the trailer. And I'll tell you what, though, the woman in that trailer, who's at the start, the grandmother woman, she looked exactly like the grandmother in Paranormal Activity 3.
Yeah.
It was straight after the advert that I saw that advert before that film.
Which
when I watched
comes on. I'm going to tell you, brag. I totally called the end with how it plays out with a certain person.
You're just going to brag that.
I totally
let the
called it,
audience
know.
know.
But I was like, but that's just because I'm also like that. But no, I don't usually get scared at films. So it doesn't scare the crap out of me. I had to look away at some points.
Yeah.
Made me a complete pussy, my friend. But oh well.
Yeah.
It was worth it. It is a good film.
Yeah, well worth
one of the scariest ones I've ever seen.
So, what would you probably rate it out of 10, Joe? I think we will introduce this sort of thing, because...
I don't know about rating out of 10, I just like saying if it's worth go seeing.
No? You don't reckon? No?
It's about 7.
I'd say, if I had to do it, because it's difficult to judge, because it's not really, it's difficult to judge on all levels, because I think...
There's different categories of films, and you can't compare. Some horrors might be like little, chilling sort of ones.
Maybe.
I think what we could say is...
6.5.
worth seeing a full price film, something maybe
say 7.
or straight get the DVD of it, or just don't see it all. And this, I think it's well worth seeing, to be honest.
So we'll give it a 7.5.
Yeah, if you had to give it 7.5 out of 10, but don't watch it on your own.
But it'll be a laugh.
Don't watch it when it comes out on DVD. Don't watch it at home in the dark.
Well, I think in a way that...
Watch it with somebody.
Yeah, I think it adds to the atmosphere if you're not watching it alone. You will be scared, I guess, but I think it's fun to watch it with someone because they're scared with you, and it all just adds a bit of fun.
And the creepy thing is, if you're on your own and then the blanket that's covering you just suddenly starts to lift off the ground. Then,
and then you just do nothing.
Yeah.
I would run.
Or prepare to be raped.
I had to walk home at 11 after that, going through a church and everything, and then me and my friend, just as I was saying bye to that person, we were just look, there's just a massive road, into a shed, whatever, and you just look down there and you're just oh my god.
You're just thinking, someone could be down there.
We were talking and stuff, and I was like, oh shit, this is really creeping out a bit. And then we just looked in the house, just the window there, and we were both like, oh, this is horrible.
Creepy.
Just waiting for a white face suddenly to just appear in the window. Alright, well, cheers for that, Joe, and with the assistance of Ross for Paranormal Activities. We'll now move on to our next little bit, because Luke has got his own little agenda today, because Luke is such a genius at sport, shall we say. We have given Luke the idea of going and finding mad sports stories. So a bit like Bonkers Britain in a way, just sporty. But we'll just... so Luke, what did you find out for us?
Well, just browsing the internet earlier on today, just casually flicking through, just general things of interest. Stumbled across a little story. Many of you may or may not be into football, but I certainly am, and most people in here are. So,
Yeah.
but maybe not quite to the extent that I take it to another level. You won't. But I was just reading this story, and it just seemed to get a bit bizarre because if you know you're Ukrainian football, then you might be able to relate to this, but or may have already heard this.
To all those audiences of Ukrainians listening.
But a Ghanaian midfielder called Samuel Nkoum, who plays for, if I pronounce that correctly, I believe I did, if he plays for Dnipro in the Ukrainian Premier League, was sent off in most bizarre fashion after being substituted. He'd already been booked previously in the game, and as he was leaving the pitch,
for a substitute, right? Yeah.
being substituted off the pitch, he took his shirt off. Obviously, as you'll know, this is a bookable offence in football, but the ref did book him. Obviously, that being his second yellow, he was then deserved of a red card, allegedly, for taking his shirt off, essentially.
It seems ridiculous.
He's
already leaving. What's the point?
Yeah,
It's bonkers.
He might be
It's
just
bonkers.
trying to aerate his
There's,
armpits. Before he goes
There's
off.
also another...
Well, you never know. I mean, abs might the referee might find abs offensive or something.
There is another little story that I've heard of earlier in the week. It's lower league Czech football this time, but ref is under investigation after sending 3 players off for no particular reason and spending most of the game laying on the ground. Turns out that it was the ref's birthday, and he'd been celebrating this before the game with a few drinks.
Oh,
So
yeah, I think that might
drunken
explain
showing
it.
from the ref there, proving it's not always the players.
Yeah, all of those
Thugs.
Czech lower league fans can relate to that out there. So.
Outrage, absolute outrage in the
Outrage.
Czech lower division. Rubbish league.
Thank you for that, Luke. And now we will move on to what I'm sure you've all been waiting for, is your weird deaths
Tell
of the
me.
week. And in which Ross... was it something to do with a magic mushroom or something, I heard?
Well, it's included in the story. Well, guys, I think you will know the... you generally, stereotypically know the...
Oh, by the way, I'll just say warning if you don't like cringe-worthy bits of the podcast.
Yeah,
Because
well, it's not really cringeworthy, this one.
oh,
Basically,
that's good.
But this guy, right, he's a bit weird. But him and some other people...
As everyone on this show seems to be.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this guy... And these...
No, carry on.
This guy, he's with these group of friends, and they all like having orgies. It's one of these...
They always all cheese.
Right, well, basically...
Your challenge for next week is to find one that's not
an
related to
orgy.
sex.
Well, right. Well, hear me out, guys. This is quite a good one. This one guy, they're all having orgies, and they're in the wilderness in America. And they're all dressed up as animals to spice it up a bit. So they're all like dressed up as...
Are they having a
an
stag
orgy.
night or something?
Well, don't hear out
Yeah,
you.
stag do.
Right.
That's a pun.
Right, these guys having an orgy. This one guy, he's sort of, having a laugh, whatever. He takes a few magic mushrooms to get himself to enjoy it even
no.
more. But this guy, right, he walks off from the rest of the group.
It sounds like the Blair Witch Project.
Well, right. This guy...
that is basically the plot.
Right, this guy, he's having the time of his life, and he comes across some other people which he thinks are also part of the orgy.
No.
And obviously, so he starts touching...
Joining in.
Well, yeah, he obviously, goes up to this person, starts touching them up or whatever. And as it turns out, this person was a grizzly bear.
Oh no.
So I think you can work out what the result of that would be. This guy
come here, darling, let me have you. Just knock off his face.
Yeah, so I think you can all predict what happened to him. Trying to have sex with a grizzly bear did not end well for him.
Yeah.
Isn't that a kid's book? I never dare have sex with a grizzly bear.
What? When?
Luke's had a very disturbed childhood.
Yeah. When on earth did... what? It's like...
Carrying on.
Yeah, carrying
Anyway.
on.
This bloke got destroyed by the grizzly bear. And obviously
It's an idea for a children's book, though.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't at all.
maybe an ostrich, but...
What? Why? Oh, God. No, Ross.
And then Fritz was into bestiality.
I don't think
Well,
so.
yeah.
If you are still listening and you do know Joseph Fritzl, please just say, well, at least you're not into bestiality to it. Please, just someone say that.
It could be worse.
There is a way he can be worse.
Chances are, of the 30 people that will listen to this, not one of them will know Fritzl.
Yeah.
Unless one of them is one of his kids.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't think
people had already turned off in the first minute of the first episode, I think.
Yeah.
So,
So
I don't-
we can say whatever we want.
yeah.
We can honestly probably say that Fritzl does not have a furry fetish. He would not have sex with animals.
Oh my God! No!
Time,
Yeah, I think
Joke
we'll.
time, I
Well,
think
thanks.
we've had
our fill.
Yeah,
We should
thanks
move
for that,
on now.
Ross. Yeah, so seeing as there's no Mitchell or anybody else doing the jokes, I think I'd take on the role myself, really. So it's a dictatorship. This is, so I'm taking control. So. No, you haven't. I have. And so one joke we have here today from Man Walks Into our book 3. We're doing a bit about films, and here's one: is that the new Sylvester Stallone Film Festival has got off to a rocky start.
Oh, dear.
Bum-ba-da-ba-da-bum.
I officially
And one-
want to kill myself.
And once again to those audience members who is
Who are still listening.
wondering when the joke is going to come. That was it. That was the joke. And move on to another one.
Spare them. Spare the listeners their souls. Yeah.
Yeah, they're already having I don't know, just seizures or something at the moment. And I don't know. Seriously.
They might just go up to a grizzly bear.
Yeah, they just might go and find that grizzly bear.
Just
Right,
cut it.
guys, have you heard about the remake of the old Dracula film? Yeah, you heard about
I
that?
do
Yeah.
not want to,
Yeah.
though.
No? No? Well, do you know what they're calling it? It's calling it a revamp.
I think the silence speaks for itself there, guys.
Oh,
And on that note,
no, there's one more.
Oh,
Just with the old...
Spare my life now.
just about the little bit about the cow. Here we have is... why did the cow go to Hollywood?
I still don't want to know.
it's surprising.
It wanted to be seen, not herded.
Oh, dear.
Again, the silence.
Yeah, and
That was poor.
don't worry, people. That is the end of it.
I'll find some jokes for next time.
Yeah, we'll find out. Well, everyone knows it's the bad joke of the week, bit. So they're just having their regular
Everyone,
thing.
you mean
Hopefully they haven't risen their expectations of the
Yeah.
jokes. Therefore they're never disappointed.
Yeah.
everyone, you mean him. Or he.
Him or he who is
Or
listening out
possibly
there.
she.
Or
Again,
possibly
the
she.
sexist assumption, I'm sorry.
Well, I think that basically ends up our show, really, and yeah, we've got quite far. Yeah, I think we deserve
Round
a
of applause
clap.
for everyone. Round of applause. Come on, Joe.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Right. Well, cheers for
And
this.
a round of applause for making it to the end.
Yeah, I think that's Yeah, well, thanks guys for coming and joining me with just everything, and thanks for listening out there. And yeah, we'll see you in a week time. Hopefully, you'll turn on after hearing those rubbish jokes.
Or Ross's sex stories.
Or Ross's grizzly bear sex stories. So tune in next week, and we'll sure be here. All right, see you later, guys.